balayah tatropanita balayo ravehe deepam iva adritaha raver deepam ivadritaha atma ramam purnakamam atma ramam purnakamam nijalabhena nityada nijalabhena nityada. We will repeat this verse and then the next verse I'll read myself. So we'll repeat only this verse. Tatropanita balayo raver deepam ivadritaha atma ramam purnakamam nijalabhena nityada. Tatropanita balayo raver deepam ivadritaha atma ramam purnakamam nijalabhena nityada. Tatropanita balayo raver deepam ivadritaha atma ramam purnakamam nijalabhena nityada. Tatropanita balayo raver deepam ivadritaha atma ramam purnakamam nijalabhena nityada. Tatropanita balayo atma ramam purnakamam nijalabhena nityada. Tatropanita balayo raver deepam ivadritaha atma ramam purnakamam nijalabhena nityada. Tatropanita balayo raver deepam ivadritaha atma ramam purnakamam nijalabhena nityada. Tatropanita balayo raver deepam ivadritaha atma ramam purnakamam nijalabhena nityada. I'll read the next verse. Priti utfula mukha prochur harsha gadgadaya gira pitaram sarvasuhradam avitaram ivarbakaha. Word to word meaning. Tatra, thereupon. Upanita, having offered. Balayaha, presentation. Ravehe, up to the sun. Deepam, lamp. Iva, like. Adritaha, being evaluated. Atma Ramam, unto the self-sufficient. Purnakamam, fully satisfied. Nijalabhena, by his own potencies. Nityada, one who supplies incessantly. Priti, affection. Utfulamukhaha, cheerful faces. Prochuhu, said. Harsha, gladdened. Kadgadaya, ecstatic. Gira, speeches. Pitaram, unto the Father. Sarva, all. Suhrudam, friends. Avitaram, the guardian. Iva, like. Arbakaha, wards. Translation and prepared by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The citizens arrived before the Lord with their respective presentations, offering them to the fully satisfied and self-sufficient one, who by his own potency incessantly supplies others. These presentations were like the offering of a lamp to the sun. Yet the citizens began to speak in ecstatic language about receiving the Lord, just as wards welcome their guardian and father. Translation with repetition. The citizens arrived before the Lord with their respective presentations, offering them to the fully satisfied and self-sufficient one, who, by his own potency, incessantly supplies others. These presentations were like the offering of a lamp to the sun. Yet, the citizens began to speak in ecstatic language about receiving the Lord, just as wards welcome their guardian and father. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Lord Krishna is described herein as Atma Rama. He is self-sufficient, and there is no need for him to seek happiness from anything beyond himself. He is self-sufficient because his very transcendental existence is total bliss. He is eternally existent, he is all cognizant and all blissful. Therefore, any presentation, however valuable it may be, is not needed by him. But still, because he is the well-wisher for one and all, he accepts from everyone everything that is offered to him in pure devotional service. It is not that he is in want for such things, because the things are themselves generated from his energy. The comparison is made herein that it is something like offering a lamp in the worship of the sun god. Anything fiery and illuminating is but an emanation of the energy of the sun. Yet to worship the sun god, it is necessary to offer him a lamp. In the worship of the sun, there is some sort of demand made by the worshipper, but in the case of devotional service of the Lord, there is no question of demand from either side. It is all a sign of pure love and affection between the Lord and the devotee. The Lord is the Supreme Father of all living beings, and therefore, those who are conscious of this vital relation with God can make filial demands from the Father, and the Father is pleased to supply the demands of such obedient sons without bargaining. The Lord is just like the desired tree, and from him everyone can have everything by the causeless mercy of the Lord. As a Supreme Father, the Lord, however, does not supply to a pure devotee what is considered to be a barrier to the discharge of devotional service. Those who are engaged in the devotional service of the Lord can rise to the position of unalloyed devotional service by his transcendental attraction. Thus ends the Transcendental Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanathimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, this is the beginning section of this chapter, which is talking about Lord Krishna's entrance in Dwarka. So this verse starts with Tatra, thereupon. So what is that it is referring to? So here, so the Lord, as we know, upon reaching the borders of Dwarka, Lord blew his conch shell, and as soon as he blew the conch shell, the devotees, the citizens of Dwarka, they understood the arrival of Lord Krishna, and they immediately started running towards the Lord. Now, they were saddened by not having seen the Lord for so many days, so they immediately ran towards the Lord. Now, we saw in the previous verse that this is the eagerness of the devotees or the citizens of Dwarka, that they were so eager to see the Lord. And it is important to see in this verse that how did they come and what did they do after they started running towards the Lord. The first thing that is being said here is that Upanita Balayo, referring to Balayaha means presentations, Upanita, offered. So while they came running towards the Lord, they did not come empty-handed. They brought presentations to offer to the Lord. Now this is a very important principle, that whenever we go to visit Lord in the temple, we should actually carry something to offer to the Lord. And it is actually a basic custom or a culture that even if one goes to someone else's house, one should carry something. And just it could be simple fruits, something which can be offered to the host. And similarly, the host also should give back something in return while going. Now, this is dadati pratigrinati. As Srila Rupa Goswami says, this is an exchange of love, to offer something in charity and to accept something in charity. So even between two devotees, even between two common people, it is natural to exchange something, especially if they want to be in good relationship. So what to say about the Supreme Lord? One should definitely take something to offer to the Lord. And especially when one is in love, one can never be that they will not take something to the Lord. Just like when someone loves someone wants to give something to them. So as we can see that in the previous purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that the citizens of Dwarka were all eternally liberated souls who have come with the Lord as his entourage to be a part of his pastime. So they were naturally filled with love. So eternally liberated means they are awakened, they're Krishna consciousness, they're fully Krishna conscious. So everything that they want to do is to please the Lord. As it is said, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunai Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Kare Uday. So the dormant love of Krishna consciousness, Nitya Siddha, it's actually eternally present in all the living entities. But in the case of eternally liberated souls, it is awakened. But in the case of the conditioned souls, it is dormant. Therefore, because it is dormant, it is not that one has to acquire it from somewhere, but rather one has to Shuddha Chitte, one has to purify one's consciousness, one's heart. If one purifies one's heart, then that dormant love, Krishna Prema Nitya Siddha, which is eternally present, can be awakened. Kare Udaya. It can blossom. Therefore, the process of chanting and hearing is the most recommended process, because by this process, one's heart can be cleansed. When one's heart is cleansed, one will naturally feel attracted, attached, and will love Krishna. So here we can see that the residents of Dwaraka, they are offering some presentations to the Lord as soon as they are running towards the Lord. They are carrying something with them to offer to the Lord. This is a sign of love. Now, the next question that is being asked, one can ask, is that why would Lord need some presentation? Especially Srila Prabhupada gives an example of some of the Arya Samaj followers. They say, how can Lord eat? Why does Lord need something? If he needs something, if something is given to him, that means he's incomplete. He is in want of something. That's how people think. And that is very wonderfully explained in this verse by using the words Atma Ramam Purna Kamam Nijalabena Nityada. So here the words that is used is Atma Ramam. The Lord is Atma Rama. He is fully satisfied. He is Purna Kamam, fully satisfied. Atma Rama. He is self-sufficient. Very important to understand this word, self-sufficient. The Lord is not in need of anything. The living entities are in need of something. Just like we have to acquire something from outside us to feel satisfied, to feel peaceful, to feel happy. We need something external. But in case of the Lord, there is nothing that he needs from anyone or anything so as to make himself happy or satisfied. And Prabhupada explains that in the purport. He is self-sufficient because his very transcendental existence is total bliss. Because he is full of bliss. His existence itself is total bliss. Therefore, what need is there for him to ask anything from anywhere or anyone? And if he does not need anything, if he is fully satisfied, is fully happy, is fully contented, he has everything, then what is the need to give a presentation, or what is the need for him to accept a presentation? This is an important point to note. What is, Prabhupada gives an example. Let's say I am not hungry. If one is not hungry and you provide them with any amount of food stuff, what will they do with it? They will not eat. And there is no need to prepare food or any preparations for someone who is not hungry. You have to give something to someone who is hungry. But in this case of the Lord, who is self-sufficient, who is not in need of anything, what is the need to give something, and what is the need for the Lord to accept something? So that is explained by Prabhupada in the purport. Firstly, Prabhupada is saying, therefore, any presentation, however valuable it may be, is not needed by him because he is self-sufficient. But still, because he is a well-wisher for one and all, he accepts from everyone everything that is offered to him in pure devotional service. The Lord is extremely kind. Although he is in not need of anything, but just to give an opportunity for the conditioned living entity to turn one's face towards the Lord accepts the offering that is given by the devotee. And here, Prabhupada is saying that the Lord accepts from everyone everything that is offered to him in pure devotional service. So the most important thing is devotional service. So Lord is willing to take, provided it is offered with love and devotion. And that is what is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Tadaham Bhakti Uparita ashnami prayatatmanaha. So the Lord is willing to take if there is bhakti, there is love and devotion. If someone offers him, the Lord, with love and devotion, he can accept a leaf, a flower, a fruit, and water. Prabhupada says any poor man in the world can offer, if not fruit, flower, leaf, water. All these things are easily available, naturally available. You don't have to work very hard to produce any of these things. So, but the factor that is here, we can see priti, affection, that love is the most important ingredient. And Prabhupada says, if there is love, the Lord is willing to accept. Even if it is simple preparation, not so well-made preparation, but the Lord sees the devotion, and if he is satisfied with the devotion, he can accept anything from everyone or from anyone. So, in this regard, we can see that the citizens, Prabhupada writes in the purport, arrived before the Lord with their respective presentations. Not that everyone brought same presentation or perhaps the highest presentation that is materially, and as we understand, not necessary. So when we see and understand things, we usually think things have to be materially nice to offer to the Lord. Yes, Lord, we must offer first-class things to the Lord, but the Lord is not in need of material things. He is completely satisfied. He is full of 6 opulences. He is purely spiritual, and therefore no material thing, however valuable it may be, will please or satisfy the Lord, or he is in need of that. But if one offers with love, so this is the most important to understand, that the Lord is very, very kindly coming just to give us an opportunity. That is very important to understand. Otherwise, sometimes we may think, oh, I am very busy, oh, I am this, I am that, oh, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I cannot offer, as if the Lord is in want of something. Lord is not in want of something. We are in want of something. To develop our relationship with the Lord is kindly coming and is saying, okay, you offer me something, I'll accept it. And especially the Lord comes in the form of Archa Vigraha, just so as to accept our service, so that we become purified in this process. And the example that is given here is that of Raver Devam Ivadritaha. Just like a lamp is offered to the sun god, to worship him. Although any form of illumination that we can see is actually coming from the Lord, from the sun god. And therefore, what is the point of offering a small lamp to sun who is full of illumination? It does not add any illumination, neither it reduces any illumination because a lamp is lit. But that is a process to worship the sun god. Similarly, another example that is given is that of Ganges. To worship Ganges, a devotee takes bath in the river Ganges, and he dips till his waist height, and then offers some prayers and takes some Ganges water in his palms, and again offers that same Ganges water to the river Ganges. Now, by taking small amount of water, neither the river Ganges is becoming any less, or neither by adding that one palmful of water, the Ganges is becoming any big. I mean, there is no real value addition or any loss to the river Ganges simply by taking or offering that. But that act of offering is an act of devotion. And by doing that, one becomes a devotee. Similarly, everything that is existing in this creation is coming from the Supreme Lord, Janmadiyasya yatha, both spiritual and material. All that is existing in this world is coming from the Lord. And yet, when one offers back something to the Lord with love and devotion, one is recognized as a devotee of the Lord. And the Lord wants to give that opportunity for the devotee to be recognized as a devotee, or to give an opportunity to become a devotee of the Lord, to develop that relationship. Therefore, it is important that we offer something to the Lord. And the Lord, as we know from various examples, especially from the example of Vidura, when the Lord came to meet Vidura, Vidura was trying to offer bananas to the Lord. But he was so much absorbed and he was so ecstatic that instead of giving banana, he was giving the peel, the skin of the banana to the Lord, and he was throwing away the banana. But because he was offering with so much of devotion and love, the Lord was accepting it. So the Lord is very, very merciful, very, very kind. But it is very important for us to develop that consciousness. Shuddha chitte, purified heart is required to offer something to the Lord. Otherwise, we may materially think that, oh, I'm offering this to the Lord, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. The Lord is saying, are you really offering with love, preeti? That is very important. Another point that we can see here of the other thing that's being said here is that the Lord is the Supreme Father of all living beings, and therefore those who are conscious of this vital relation with God can make filial demands from the Father, and the Father is pleased to supply the demands of such obedient sons without bargaining. So, Lord is the Supreme Father of all living beings. And anyone who is conscious of this relationship and can make filial demands from the Father. So just like a son or a daughter can ask, Father, Mother, I need this, I need that, can you please give me? And Father is pleased to supply the demands of such obedient sons without bargaining. So Prabhupada is writing obedient sons and without bargaining. So the Lord is actually a desired tree. Prabhupada writes, the Lord is just like a desired tree. He can supply any amount of desires, any kind of desires. Just like desired tree, Prabhupada explains, means just like if you go in this material world to a mango tree, you only get a mango. You cannot get orange, or you cannot get something else that you want, a samosa. But a desired tree can provide anything. You desire, and it will fulfill your desire. The Lord is source of everything, and therefore He can fulfill any desire to any amount. Not one mango, million mangoes, unlimited mangoes. He can give immediately. Because we are all part and parcel of Him, and therefore He loves us so much, and therefore He is eager to fulfill our desires. He is pleased to fulfill our desires, but there is a condition. What is that condition? As a Supreme Father, the Lord, however, does not supply to a pure devotee what is considered to be a barrier to the discharge of devotional service. But unfortunately, if the child makes a desire which is not beneficial for the child, the Lord is not very pleased to fulfill that desire. Sometimes we are filled with so many desires, and we are waiting, the Lord, please sanction, please sanction, please sanction. But the Lord is thinking, oh, this is detrimental for your devotional service, why do you want this? But we think, oh, why is my desire not being fulfilled? Actually, it requires great intelligence and to realize what kind of desire one must ask. Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj used to say that most people are looking for material desires. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj used to give this example of a common man going to the king, and king says, what do you need? Ask me anything that you want and I'll give you. Sarika, what will you ask a king? If king says, ask me whatever you want and he will give. Madhav? Mangoes. Mangoes. Yes. So Madhav will ask mangoes, someone may ask ice cream, or someone may ask something else. But this man asked for ashes. Ash. So Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Srimad says, what kind of a wish is that? What kind of a desire is that? You can ask him, give me half the kingdom. That's nice. And he says, okay, take it. You can be like a half king at least, equal king. But now you're asking for a pinch of ash. Not very nice. Similarly, to go to the Lord with a material desire is compared to that. Unfortunately, we do not know. Most of our desires are like that. We are asking something which is not good for us. And yet we are so adamant that please fulfill this desire. Only then I will consider you are very kind. Actually, we have our own barometer of understanding what is kindness of the Lord, or even of anyone. Srila Prabhupada gives another example, another story about this. He gives a story of a woman who used to carry some wood from the forest to her home so as to burn the firewood to make some cooking and so on, for cooking and for other reasons. So she was an old lady and she was carrying a lot of wood on her head. She was carrying, and it was very heavy. And while she was walking, unfortunately, the sticks fell down from her head and they were all lying down. The bundle of sticks were lying down. Now she was finding it very difficult to lift them and carry them and put them back on her head. So she was little intelligent, not fully intelligent, so she called out the name of the Lord. She called out, "Oh Lord, please help me, please help me." So hearing her intent prayer, the Lord actually appears there. And Lord says, "What do you want?" And she says, "Please put back that bundle of wood on top of my head." So actually, even Lord comes, we do not know what to ask. We ask something like this. You could have asked so many different things. The Lord can take you out of this and put you in spiritual world. Or in the worst of worst case, you can say, "Put this in my house," you can say. But, to ask back, put back that difficulty on my head again, just imagine. The Lord is desiratory, but our kind of desires are so inauspicious. So that is the problem. The Lord is trying to see, this will hamper their devotional service. Let's not give that, let's not fulfill that. But we are so adamant. So, actually, one does not need to go to the Lord to ask for material things. Prabhupada gives the example, just like he often tells us, some people go to the church or other places and they say, "Oh Lord, please give me my bread." And Prabhupada says, why should you ask that? The elephant in the African jungle is being fed so much food that it does not go and pray that, "Oh Lord, please give me some food." An ant does not go and pray, "Oh Lord, please give me some food." Every living entity which is getting food naturally, so we can also get the food naturally. So there is no need to ask the Lord for material things. The Lord is present as Paramatma. He is aware of what are our needs, necessities. And He is supplying those necessities, as it is said in this verse, "Nijalabhena nityada." Nijalabhena nityada. By His own potency, He is supplying all the necessities for all living entities. Eko yo bahunam vidadati kaman. Although he is one, he is supplying the necessities of all the living entities. And it's not very difficult for him to provide bread. And one actually does not have to ask to get bread. So, the Lord can just naturally provide our necessities, and more importantly, He can provide more than what we can think of and what we can desire. We all have small desires. This desire, that desire. And we become very specific about our desire. The Lord can provide us so much, but we become very specific. Therefore, we have to be very, very careful with our desires. Therefore, we have to learn how to desire. This is very important. And by following the footsteps of the Acharyas, we have to learn. By hearing the prayers of various devotees, by hearing the scriptures, we can actually purify our desires. The material desires have to become spiritual desires. As it is said, we cannot stop desiring, but unless we don't transfer our material desires to spiritual desires, we will be stuck in material desires. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offers a prayer in his Sikshastakam. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatad bhaktir ahetuki tvai. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, na dhanam, I don't want wealth. People are after wealth. Today, wealth is, money is honey. So, anyone who has wealth is appreciated. So people are after money. Money gives you material comfort, sense gratification. So everyone is after money, more and more and more and more. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, no, na dhanam. People may renounce money. Okay, I don't need money. But even after they renounce money, they want followers. They want people to say, yes, 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 you are nice, you are great, you are good, you are beautiful, you are wonderful. And we like appreciation. And immediately if someone says, no, we become angry. So we look for followers. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, na janam, I do not want followers. Na sundarim, people want a beautiful husband or a wife. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, I don't want. Na kavitam va jagadisha kamaye. People want to be appreciated in flowery language. Oh, you are so nice, you did so these things. People want to be appreciated. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, I do not want that. Then what does he want? Mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatad bhakti rahe tuki tvai. All that I desire, life after life, not only in this life after life, janmani janmanishvare bhavatad bhakti rahe tuki tvai. I want causeless, unmotivated devotional service unto you. That is my desire. This is the real desire. Any other desire is detrimental. A pure devotee does not ask from the Lord anything except his devotional service unto Him, the Supreme Lord. So purifying desires is the process of Krishna consciousness. As we become Krishna conscious, the lust, so either we are attached to Krishna or either we are attached to matter. So Krishna consciousness means to transform lust into love. That is our original position. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema. Our constitutional position is of loving relationship with the Supreme Lord. But now that has been transformed into lust. I want to enjoy something. And therefore, here in the case of worshipping sun god, when someone is worshipping sun god, they are worshipping with a reason. Please cure my disease. Usually, in Vedic literatures, people worship sun god to cure a disease, so that one can come out of a disease. Or they may worship another demigod for some sort of benefit, material benefit. Kama istaiste ritagnyanaha prapadyanti anya devataha. Kamaha. When one has a material desire, one goes to a certain demigod so that they can fulfill that material desire. A beautiful wife, beautiful husband, some material education, some wealth, rainfall, various things one may need. And one may go to different demigods to acquire that. Now, but in case of pure devotion for the Supreme Lord, there is no asking. Neither the Lord demands something that you give me like this, neither the devotee asks, you give me in return this. I will worship you, so please give me that. No. Neither Lord says, oh, you prepare like this, you prepare like this, you prepare like this, then only you give me, then only I'll accept it. No. Just like Sanatana Goswami, when the deity of Madan Mohan came to him, and Sanatana Goswami was a renunciant. He was just doing parikrama of Govardhan, and he used to do madhukari, he used to beg alms, and whatever he receives, that's all he used to have. And he used to get dry chapatis. And that dry chapati only he was offering to Madan Mohan. And one day Madan Mohan says, oh, what is this? You're offering only dry chapati, not even salt? What is this? Sanatana Goswami says, today you are asking salt, tomorrow you will ask sabji, you will ask this, you will ask that. From where will I get all this? I am just a renunciant. I am supposed to write literature. That's what my service is. This is all I can give. You see? But there is love and devotion. Lord is not saying, oh, you give me this chapan book every day, you give me this, you give me that. No. But the Lord actually stays with Madan Mohan, deity stays with Sanatana Goswami instead of another, some chobe with whom the Lord was staying earlier, who was providing Lord with more offerings. But because of the love of Sanatana Goswami, the Lord comes to Sanatana Goswami. So this is important to note, that in other cases, one has to reach to demigod because of other desires one may have. But in case of the Lord, there is no demand, there is no, only if one is offering with love and devotion. And that can happen when our desires are purified. If our desires are not purified, we cannot worship the Lord with love and devotion. And as we know, the Lord can provide anything. Just like in case of Dhruva Maharaj, he could give a bigger kingdom. In case of Sudama, although he didn't ask anything, the Lord just took a palmful of chipped rice from Sudama. And Sudama even didn't ask anything from the Lord, although his wife insisted, oh, you should ask something from the Lord. Sudama was thinking, oh, why should I ask something from the Lord? And he was going back home. And then when he comes back, he sees wonderful palace, more opulent than the king of Indra, king of heaven, Indra. So, actually, Lord can fulfill all our desires. But often, we do not have the right desire to please the Lord. Actually, if we make our desire to please the Lord, to render service unto Him, actually we will see unlimited reciprocation of the Lord, and which will make things look so wonderful. Everything happening so wonderfully well, because the Lord is fulfilling those desires. In those desires, we see reciprocation of the Lord. We see, special mercy of the Lord. As here Prabhupada writes, towards the end, those who are engaged in the devotional service of the Lord can rise to the position of unalloyed devotional service by his transcendental attraction. Actually, one will become mad after the Lord. And Prabhupada says that the Lord hypnotizes. Prabhupada gives the example. He says that Narada Muni is saying this in some place, that although the Pandavas were put in so much difficulty, they were even more attracted to the Lord. Because that loving relationship, even if there is a difficulty, they are seeing much deeper reciprocation of the Lord. And therefore, they are unaffected by any difficulty. That reciprocation of the Lord, because they are always thinking how to please the Lord. They are not saying, oh, why this difficulty has come? What has come to us? Why have we put into this difficulty? They are thinking, how can we please the Lord? How can we serve the Lord? And therefore, even in case of difficulty, they are even more attached to the Lord. So, it is very important that actually Lord is not in need of anything. He is Purna Aishwarya. He is full of 6 opulences, Chadaishwarya Purna. And if we offer something with priti, love and devotion, He will accept. And we can also see here that although the offerings are like the lamp offered to the sun, that is how it is being compared here, these citizens of Dwarka were ecstatic. They were extremely happy. They were Harsha Gadgadaya Gira, just like, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, Pulake Vapu Nichitam Gadgada Gira. So, they were so ecstatic. And the example is given that of a ward or a small child when he sees the father coming back from a trip, or he is hoping, oh, some presentation will come or something will come. He's very, very happy, very joyful, eagerly waiting. So like that, these citizens of Dwaraka, when they saw the Lord, they were ecstatic. They were speaking. In the next few verses, we will see what they are speaking. But you can see there's so much of joy, because in the awakened state, one understands one's relationship with the Lord, and that makes one very, very happy, ecstatic, just seeing the Lord. And we can see how wonderful is this relationship between the Lord and His devotees, and that is being seen here, the pure love and affection between the Lord and the devotees of Dwaraka. So we'll stop here and see if there are any questions or comments. If there are no questions or comments, we'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavatham.